With lots of hopes coming in through from Mikel Arteta the previous months about Julian Timber, but he has gone ahead and confirmed to us that he's far off from being fit, meaning that he still has some months to obviously go, taking us back to the timeline of this injury, from the time he went ahead to obviously gate it and to the time he's gonna heal. Is it gonna be much? All that and more into this video. Thomas Partey, Arteta's gone ahead to obviously issue another huge injury update about him and why he went ahead to miss out on the AFCON, and what does that mean on his return as a player who is very integral to the squad of Arsenal this season. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. Hope you guys are really having fun. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. This is the Arsenal News Show and we are only talking Arsenal. So, we thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims Barak Laufikum, and we're here to obviously discuss lots of things concerning these players of Arsenal who are really injured and on the sick bay. Let's see close to 100 likes in this video and let's go eyes to bring you this story. We are having a story coming in from Mikel Arteta on Julian Timber's injury progression. He says, unfortunately, that's a very long-term injury. He's doing really well, but is still far from being fit to train with the team, or something to compete with the team, so we don't expect him any time soon. It's what we have. So currently the situation is positive according to what Mikel Arteta is telling us, that he's really doing well from his axillary muscle injury that he got when Arsenal was playing against Nottingham Forest, the opener of the Premier League. What a bad start for a player who had gone ahead to fit into the Arsenal team like a glove. And for Julian Timber, he's gonna be missed at the club of Arsenal. Until now, Arsenal fans are really crying for his return, but it looks like it's gonna go as we are told at the beginning of the assessment that the physios went ahead to run. And after the surgery, it was said it's gonna take 6 months for him to return, meaning that you will count September, October, November, December, January, February, meaning that we should expect him late February or early March. That's when he's gonna be back. But stories are running that him and Thomas Partey were expected to return in the January month of 2024, but unfortunately it was Tomiyasu who returned early enough, and it looks like it's not gonna be good news for the side of Arsenal. But he's being missed, we all know that, because of what he really gives. When he steps on the field of play, he can play as a central defender, left back, central defender, a lot he offers to the side of Arsenal. And guess what? His injury went ahead to distort the plans of Mikel Arteta, because after spending close to £40 million on a player, there is no way you obviously come out and really not see him play for your club. You get that injury is really bad, and it distorts the plan. With the amount of money they had been left with, that is £40 million to spend onto any signing, so as not to bleach the financial fair play rule, Arsenal went in for Julian Timber, and unlucky enough, Timber got injured. And trust me, if Timber has been around, there are lots of games that Arsenal would have gone ahead to turn around. For example, the game of Liverpool. You know, Salah couldn't have gone ahead to really cook Timber like how he cooked Zinchenko to score that goal. You know, that miscommunication in between Gabriel Magalhaes and Zinchenko wouldn't have gone ahead to happen as they did against West Ham, and West Ham went ahead to capitalize onto that position, and he went ahead to score. That was Jushek. So even when you need a player to surge into the final third of the pitch, like in the game of West Ham or Fulham, when you're really looking in for a goal to obviously level the game or win it, it was a matter of a switch. Get Julian Timber onto the right to play as the right wing, and get Zinchenko play as the left back. That is it. So let no one lie to you that Timber is not missed. Timber is missed 100%, and Arsenal are really working with a thin squad, according to me, because they are players whose quality just goes ahead to really take the team to the next level. For example, William Saliba, you saw it when he got out last season, how Arsenal went ahead to suffer. You get? So there are injuries that are really bad if at all they're affecting the spine of the team. Trust me, Timber was going to be a very huge factor into Arsenal's season, and would have gone ahead to do a lot. You know, he would have been one of the best progressive passers, you know, on the field of play, especially coming in through from the defense line. So he creates a lot of chances, line-breaking passes. His press resistance helps to really create more spaces into that midfield, because he will get that ball and feel at home with it, and him having it in very, very deadly areas will attract players to come in through and obviously try to obviously attack him. And then he'll use his skill set to either take them off or find a lining breaking pass to release likes of Odegaard, and then the rest will be history. So he's really good at that, and even going forward, he has a lot to offer, especially when he reaches the final third of the pitch. And Arsenal is missing out on a player like Julian Timber, let's all admit, but Arteta is confirming to us that the healing is well, but he's far off from being fit, meaning that it's just time to see him return. And if at all you're Arsenal, you wouldn't like to rush him back, because the problem was done by the physios. The man went down on the field of play at half time, and they brought him back, and he couldn't even last a second. So in the second half, and that is really something we're going to have to learn. They're no longer hurrying back players from injury, and that's what Arteta had to say about Julian Timber. Very many of you have been asking about the Julian Timber update. That's really a very huge one coming from Mikel Arteta, and I think it's going to serve you for the rest of the time until Julian Timber really returns to play for the side of Arsenal. Then we are having Arteta on Thomas Partey missing out on the African Cup of Nations. We got the side of the manager of the Ghanaian national team, and now we are having the side of Arteta on Partey not going to the African Cup of Nations. Arteta has told us that it was about common sense. He has a long-term injury and really wanted to push his rehab. He really wanted to be with the national team, but he's still far off from training with the team, and it didn't make a lot of sense. That is it. I really understand exactly what this guy is really talking about. That is Mikel Arteta. And sometimes you need to give a player a healing time you've never gone ahead to give him, because if Arsenal go back into their archives onto how long they've gone ahead to rush back Thomas Partey from injury, and they've gone ahead to notice that every time we obviously bring him back and don't give him ample resting time, he really gets a setback, you know, or gets injured again early enough. Then they are right to obviously give him ample time to obviously rest and really find it better for him to come in and help them, because at any time he comes back at the side of Arsenal, he'll be helpful. That is it. He'll be helpful, and Arsenal are really trying to obviously do the needful. But all it goes back to the plan of Mikel Arteta during the summer transfer window. The player was pushing to leave, and he told him not to leave. But it would have done good justice to Arsenal if I told Thomas Partey to go ahead to leave, and they would have gone ahead to get like £30 million. £30 million. They would have gone ahead to like France, maybe, and got in another midfielder. You know, Romeo Lavia was there. They also got injured at Chelsea. They would have gone in for players like Fofana. Yusuf Fofana, one of the best midfielders we're going to hate to see in the league. And maybe the transfer plan would have gone ahead to change if they went ahead to obviously get this guy off. They wouldn't have gone in for Kai Havertz. They would have gone in for a different kind of player altogether that would have gone ahead to serve a purpose for Thomas Partey. But Thomas Partey is really injury prone, and I think the best player that would have gone ahead for would have been Caicedo, because we saw to it that at the beginning of the season Mikel Arteta was playing Thomas Partey as an inverted right back. So Caicedo, towards the end of his last season at Brighton, we saw him being played as an inverted right back by the manager, that is De Zerbi, meaning that would have gone ahead to serve the purpose. But Arsenal convinced Thomas Partey to stay, and a lot really went on to happen. But I think it's high time they let him go. However much you love someone and he's really good, but he cannot be a variable for the rest of the season, then you don't need him around. And maybe Arteta had also gotten to know that they had to clinch the deal of Declan Rice, because you saw to it at the beginning of the season, Arteta played Declan Rice in the central defense and Thomas Partey was played as a right back, meaning that he knew exactly what he was going to do. Even at the end of the season of 2021-22, 2020 to 2023, you saw to it that Thomas Partey was played as an inverted right back, and Arteta had something he was building in plan at Arsenal. So that is it all concerning the lad himself, and that is Thomas Partey. Then after that, he told us on how long he'll be out for. Hopefully it's weeks. How many weeks it will be will depend a little on how long the next step of training with the team will take him, but he's progressing well. So for Thomas Partey, it's gonna be weeks from now, and his return is really gonna be very, very soon. If it's weeks, that means he might return towards the end of this month and see how he'll cope up with the side of Arsenal. But it's really very, 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 very bad news for Arsenal, because every time the manager starting off the season, he has his own plan, and the plan has not gone as to plan, because they average the number of weeks you might be out, the number of games you're going to miss. That is what these managers really do, and they really go ahead and really get in the perfect players to obviously fit in at that time. But Partey looks like for the entirety of last year, he never played very many games. I bet if he played 10 games for Arsenal, that is it. That is it. So that's what I had for you. Tell me your thoughts about Julian Timber far off from being fit, confirmed us by Mikel Arteta. I welcome you in the comment section below. What do you make about Thomas Partey? Also progressing well, but returning in weeks from now. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. As the Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. And the FA Cup game is on tomorrow. Newcastle is going ahead to beat Sunderland by 3-0. Chelsea is playing with, I think, Preston North End. The game is still 0-0, but Chelsea are really pushing hard to score. And then Man City is playing tomorrow. Man United is playing on Monday. So those are the games of football that we're having right now for your big teams. And I think you enjoy the update. Ciao, ciao.